Hello YouTube, this is Strike Freedom 78, this time with another review. This is the Sega Corporation's Rio model Cyber Troopers Virtualon MBV04G, callsign Temjin, from the video game Cyber Troopers Virtualon for the arcade and for the Sega Saturn, also released for the Sega Ages 2500 for the PS2 in Japan. Now this figure was made back in 1995. Back when Virtualon was first released for the Sega Saturn and for the arcade. Now, this particular figure was meant to boost the the fandom for Virtualon players, since it became so popular in the arcades both in Japan and in America. And this is part of the Sega Corporation's Rio model line, which also included the Evangelion units piloted by Shinji, Rei, and Asuka in Neon Genesis Evangelion, and now, back then in 1995, the Virtuaroids were also incorporated to be part of the Rio model series. So here's a brief overview of what you would expect in the figure after it's taken out of the packaging. I mean, this figure actually looks good, but it actually does look good. But the problem with it is the articulation, as I will explain shortly. As you can see, he is holding his MPBL, or the multi-purpose beam launcher, in his right hand. As you can see, and he also comes with his the V converter, which resembles the Sega Saturn console itself, and it can also open up to reveal the V converter disc that's inside. Excuse me. But unfortunately, the V converter's thrusters do not open from the side, and it has and when playing with it in excess, it has a tendency to pop out very easily. Now the head can actually rotate 360 degrees, like so, in one direction, or in both directions. Actually, I was just having a little bit of a difficulty with it, but you have to be very, very careful about the antenna that on its head, so it can pop off. So be very, very careful. I don't know if you excuse me. Just put it back in. And the antenna themselves, they're made of a softer plastic, whereas the rest of the figure is made out of a hollow plastic. And except for the MPBL in its right hand, now this is made out of very, very rigid plastic. So it does have a tendency to snap. So be very, very careful. And its arms can only rotate around like so. Sorry about that. And the V converter just popped out. And the elbows can only move up and down, and the rest of the arm can only swivel in certain directions, like that way and that way, but it can't swivel around 360 degrees. And I highly advise against trying to rotate this figure from its waist. So, and it's got very poor articulation at the waist as well. So it can't. It can only rotate at certain angles. But if you can try to rotate it all the way, you'll hear a snapping noise. So I'd highly recommend doing that. So, and its legs, it can only go up, and it can go back, but it can only move side to side up to a certain direction, and that is a very, very huge problem. And as for the and the wrist, there are no ball joints except for the head. There are basically no ball joints. As you can see, the wrist can only rotate like so. And I would not, right now, I would not try to rotate the wrist on the right hand, because it has the MPBL on its right hand, so I'll just leave it there. And as for its feet, it can only move up and down, side to side for a bit, but it can't swivel around on a ball joint. There's no ball joint, as I said. I mean, this figure is it can be a good display piece, but as for an action figure, this is a really, really piss poor job of it. If you're a hardcore Virtual-On lover who loves the arcade games, as well as the Sega Saturn game, as well as the entire series for the Dreamcast and for the PS2, I'd highly recommend that if you want to get this figure, go ahead, but just be very, very careful. And if you want to take it out of the package, take some extra care of it. But if you're a real collector, I'd advise not taking it out of the package, ever. This is a very, very rare figure, and this is a very, very hard to find. And even though this is there's a whole lot of detail in this. Let me show you a lot of the panel linings, as well as the weapons and the V converter itself right here, and the data disk. Other than that, it's a really good figure to look at, but not a really good figure to play around with. But this is more of a display piece. I'd rather judge this as a 6 out of 10 because of its poor articulation, but it makes up for it in exquisite detail from the game. But and also another downside is the quality of materials used to make it. So I'd highly recommend that you not get this one. Instead, go for the composite version KA of the MBV04G Temjin, released by Bandai and designed by Hajime Katoki. Or if you want to, you can also get the Kotobuki 1/100 scale model version of the Temjin, which is a whole lot better. But however, I used to have that, but I lost it. But other than that, this is a figure I wouldn't definitely not recommend. But if you're still keen on getting this, despite my warnings, good luck. And I wish you the best. Anyway, that's the end of this review. This is Strike Freedom 78. If you have any comments about this video or any other videos that I have on YouTube, please feel free to post in the comment section on each of them. And if you want more videos, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll be more than happy to release any more reviews on anything that I have in my collection, or any one of my Soul Calibur online matchups. Again, this is Strike Freedom 78. Thank you, and good day.